area. Welcome inside the Al Roker studio for episode 3 of Laker Connections right here on WTOP 10. I'm Zach Malamud.
And I'm Ryan Joyce.
It was a busy weekend up on Lake Ontario, Ryan. Let's take a look back at this week in Laker sports.
Well, Zach, it is spooky season, and we will kick things off with the women's soccer team. The women's team knew they'd have an uphill battle this past Saturday against Cortland, and it turned out to be one as their squad lost 3-0 on their senior day. That loss by Oswego was their first in the month of October, but Zach, the team ends the regular season in great shape for playoff time.
Yeah, Ryan, and we are going to look at this game. A frustrating loss for Oswego, but the better team clearly won in the end for this one. As we look at Cortland's Bryn Thompson, a defender, and she had a goal and an assist on 2 shots. One of them was on goal. A really big performance by her. And Cortland came out of the gates in this one, scored 2 early goals in under 15 minutes. But I mentioned last week, Cortland's rock solid defensively, allowed 2 or more goals just twice this season. Cortland outshot Oswego 7-1 in the second half, 5 of those shots on target. I have to give credit to Perry Anderson in net because probably without her, the scoreline would have been a lot worse for Oswego.
Yeah, and I mean, this was going to be an uphill battle for Oswego anyway. I mean, undefeated in the conference, Cortland, you mentioned up 2-0 early in that game. Oswego didn't really have a chance to kind of fire back. And in this game, Cortland defensively, that's kind of what they're known for. They can really score the ball, but defensively only 3 shots on goal for Oswego, 2 from Legia Sorrel. But, I mean, for Oswego, it's just kind of they're in that 5th spot right now in the SUNYAC Conference, and it's a game they didn't need to have, but you knew it was going to be a tough field battle for them overall.
Yeah, and obviously they're looking ahead to the New Paltz game. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But obviously Oswego needs to put the ball in the back of the net. That's the biggest thing right now. A couple of games where they've struggled to put the ball in the back of the net, and it hasn't helped them that they go up against a team in Cortland who's rock solid defensively. Not great for the confidence of Oswego heading into this next weekend, but they're just going to have to figure it out heading down to New Paltz. We head to Max Zeal Gym, where the Oswego State Lakers are just 1 win from a playoff berth. The Lakers traveled west this weekend for matchups against Buff State and Fredonia. Oswego was shut out 3-0 by the Bengals on Friday, and against all odds, down 2-0 on Saturday, the Lakers made a ridiculous comeback for a 3-2 victory in Fredonia. Ryan, they just keep finding a way to win.
I mean, it's unbelievable for this Oswego team. I mean, looking at it, that first one against Buff State, a team you kind of wanted to win. You're in that 4th, 5th playoff spot, trying to get into the playoff spot with them. Tough loss, 0-3 there for Oswego. But then in the second one against Fredonia, you're down early, 2-0, and you come back, you fire back, close sets there, get away with the third one. But the 4th and 5th set, only 4 points divided the 2 sets overall. And I mean, I feel like for Oswego, it's just minimizing the errors for himself. And I mean, a team, 25 errors compared to 12 for Buff State in that first one. And then also in that second one for Oswego, I mean, just fighting back. This is a team that's really fought back hard all year, but they've really found themselves in early spots. In the early sets, they've been down kind of early, and they haven't really had a chance to come back in a lot of them. And we see in this one against Fredonia, down early 2 sets, but then they come back, and it's really been a fighting team all year, a team who was really not great in their conference, really fought back.
Yeah, great work by the Lakers bouncing back after Friday's sweep. Sydney Schifferler as well as Georgia Ferry, 10 kills each. The experienced players really stepping up for Oswego right now. That's huge heading into maybe a playoff position. They're going to need that experience to really step up in those big games. The Lakers had 42 kills total, Ryan. 18 of them came in the 4th set. I mean, you cannot pick a better time to really step up and get a lot of kills. They did that in that 4th set. It was crucial for them.
I mean, they've been playing great so far as a team, and I mean, big weekend coming up ahead and a big weekend for them beforehand. Lastly, we moved to the Oswego men's soccer team, whose season ended at the hands of the Cortland Red Dragons 3-1. Oswego was only able to get 1 score in this game off of graduate student and team goal leader Kieran Gilroy in the 57th minute. The Lakers end their season with only 2 wins on the year, their least since the 2013 season. This is not how Dan Kane and company wanted the season to go, Zach.
Yeah, it's a rough one for Oswego as we look at Mateo Mara. He was a midfielder for Cortland. 2 goals in this one, 6 shots, 4 of them on target. Talk about a guy who's hungry for goals. He really stepped up in this one, and Cortland were just the better team. It was a very solid first half for the Lakers. It just wasn't enough in the end. It's a disappointing season for this men's team. They're losing a couple really important seniors. Some may be coming back. Could be huge for this team next year. But like I was saying, for Cortland, Schultz, the other scorer, his 10th of the year. like really solid goal scorers that they have, and they stepped up in this one.
I mean, and it was a great first half there for Oswego. I mean, Borgioli wasn't the starter there for Oswego. Finn Costello, the senior, gets a chance to start in that one. He played pretty well in the first half. 10 shots compared for Cortland and then 8 shots for Oswego. I mean, it was a pretty similar first half, but, 30 seconds kind of in that second period, they kind of got it back into it. But, I mean, for Oswego, they got Kyle Gennerich coming back potentially for a 5th year. He's a guy who was a second-team All-SUNYAC last year and a guy who's really been a contributor for this team. And, I mean, for Oswego, not kind of the year they wanted. They really haven't been able to score. And it's really hard to score against the top, Cortland in their league.
Yeah, and you mentioned the scoring. I keep talking about the ties all year long. I cannot stop bringing it up. Just you can't find a winner, and obviously that hurt Oswego this season. Just 2 wins on the season. They're going to need to improve that for next year. But we're going to take a quick break here on Laker Connections. When we come back, we'll pull the maps out and take a look at what's up next for Laker sports.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get closer with that one.
Broadcast
Look
news.
at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back to Laker Connections, the main source for Oswego sports right here on WTOP 10. Well, Zach, we have talked about the past. Now let's zoom into the future and what's ahead for Oswego Athletics. It's the week ahead. Zach, let's kick things off.
Yeah, let's do it, Ryan. Well, playoff season is here, and we get started with the Oswego State women's soccer team. The Lakers will hit the road Saturday, heading southeast for a first-round matchup against the New Paltz Hawks. Oswego is unbeaten on the road at 5-0-1 this season, with the one tie coming at New Paltz on October 14th. Ryan, your biggest key to the game here down in New Paltz.
I mean, this should be a good one here, Zach. I mean, a team who they just played about not even 12 days ago, the Lakers, and I mean, both are defensive teams, 3rd and 4th in allowing goals all year. We kind of looked there. Really similar goals allowed. Oswego hasn't allowed a lot of goals, and New Paltz is even better than that. And on goals per game, I mean, 1 for Oswego. New Paltz allows a little more goals, which should be good in the Oswego end, but, I mean, pretty similar in terms of this team. I mean, for New Paltz, Rachel Iser and Gabby Treble are tied for first in goals in SUNYAC with 12 goals. Both are tied up there. I mean, a really high-scoring offense, a team that scores well, but Oswego, I mean, we saw they fared well. They really took them away in that first matchup against New Paltz. Oswego did, and, I mean, for Oswego, only allowed New Paltz to get 1 shot on goal for the entire game. I mean, for 2 players who were high up there in the SUNYAC, in goals 1 and 2. I mean, Oswego shut them down the first one. I assume it's going to happen here in the second one as well.
Yeah, Ryan, and New Paltz just edging ahead of Oswego in the standings, the 4-5 game we have here. I definitely think Oswego can come out on top here, though, down in New Paltz. It's going to be a battle of defenses, I think. Obviously, two high-powered defenses in the SUNYAC. New Paltz, though, on offense, we mentioned all the scoring. They come into this with no goals in their last 3 games. That's very good for Oswego, a team that's very strong defensively. The Lakers on the offensive end, they need some of those experienced goal scorers. They have a lethal front line with Sorreo, Del Grasso, as well as Brianna Winkler. Maybe Amber McDermott could get involved. A big, big matchup for Oswego. Hopefully they can come out on top.
And for a defensive matchup, you really like that. But moving on to the women's volleyball team, where they are turning around their slow start and find themselves in the last playoff spot in the SUNYAC. The Lakers have had a tough road to stay in that spot as they now have to face Brockport Friday night and Geneseo Saturday night, 2 teams who are currently 3rd and 4th in the SUNYAC Conference. Zach, the Lakers have flipped the season around, but the playoff push is certainly not over yet.
Yeah, Ryan, and it should be a really interesting weekend for the Lakers. We look at these 2 teams, Brockport and Geneseo. Brockport sitting at 13-10, 5-2 in conference. And they are on a 4-game win streak right now, red hot, the Golden Eagles. Geneseo, 11-8, 6-1 in conference. They're on a 1-game win streak. I think the Lakers just need one here, Ryan. Just one win. Really just get the job done. 2 really tough matchups, but this team has proven time and time again they can get it done in tough situations. If they get by Brockport, it's probably going to be a close one. 5 of the Golden Eagles' 10 losses have come by 3-2. Oswego's known for winning 3-2. They definitely have a chance in this one. I think Brockport, maybe more than Geneseo, they can get the job done.
I mean, and what a tough ending here for Oswego. Really tough matchups here going down the stretch. I mean, Jordan Thompson from Brockport will probably win the SUNYAC Player of the Year. I mean, 4 games this year, 20-plus kills. Unbelievable, up to 300 kills in a season for her. And, I mean, Geneseo, they're a little bit less than this Brockport team, but also they have a 3-headed monster, Linda Rossi, Julia Wallace, and Summer Madigan, all of 125-plus kills. So 3 players you really have to watch for this Geneseo team. And, I mean, it's really tough for Oswego. These are teams that are solidly in the playoff at the moment and teams that have given Oswego trouble in the past. We'll kind of see what goes here going forward.
Yeah, it's an interesting one going into this weekend. The Lakers, like I said, they need their heavy hitters to really step up, and that'll get the job done for them. But back to Laker turf. The Oswego State field hockey team will play their final game of the year on Saturday when they host William Smith. It's senior day for the Lakers, who will be celebrating 5 of them before the game. The Lakers have officially been eliminated, Ryan, but why not win one for the seniors here?
Yeah, I mean, nothing to lose here. We kind of talked about the men's soccer one. They had nothing to lose there as well. I mean, for Oswego, 5-12 in the season, 1-5 in the conference. Not too great. On the other side, William Smith, 2.18 goals per game. They've been scoring pretty well so far this year, and they don't allow a lot of goals either. So looks to favor the William Smith matchup, but nothing to lose here. I mean, for Oswego, we mentioned the seniors losing a lot of top talent for them, but we'll return 3 of the top 4 scoring. I mean, Kate McNally this year, 9 goals this year, only a junior. And I mean, Kai Phillips coming back too as well, led all the SUNYAC in the top 5 goalie categories. So only a freshman there. So, I mean, a player that can really make a difference here for Oswego. And in the first matchups since 2017, a team that Oswego hasn't played in a while. And, get a big win for the seniors here is kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah, Ryan, definitely a winnable game for the Lakers this weekend. This game is obviously going to be about recognizing those seniors. Just hasn't been a consistent year for this team. I assume, looking at their roster, they'll probably have a ton of returners next season. You mentioned a couple of them. Should be very interesting for the Lakers heading into the offseason.
Hoping to get a win out of that one. But coming up next, we discuss what is going on in the ice rink. Coming up next is a Wheelhouse Wire right here on WTOP 10.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like,
No.
what do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a closer to that one.
Need to
Matthew,
Broadcast
need to look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
we'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
Welcome back to Laker Connections on WTOP 10. It's time for the Wheelhouse Wire. Ryan, take it away.
Now let's get right into it. As the men's team end off their preseason schedule with a nail-biting 7-6 win over second-year program Alvernia College. The game was good for fast-paced and back-and-forth scoring hockey and included an offensive surge from Alvernia where they scored 2 goals to tie it up 1 minute span in a second. Zach, maybe not the best games on both sides for the Lakers, but they get the job done in this one.
Yeah, and Ryan, we look at some of the highlights from this game. The goal scoring's great, Ryan. I love it. 7 goals in this one, 9 goals the week before. Really stepping up on the offensive end, the Lakers are. After the first period, I'm not sure really what happened defensively, though. 6 goals on 13 shots for Alvernia. That's straight garbage from Oswego. I'll put it plainly there. They need to clean that up. It's going to be a long weekend if they can't figure that out.
Yeah, and from Coach Gosik's end, I know he wasn't very happy on the defensive end, but Team Oswego gets a win in this exhibition one. Really high scoring, fast pace. Looked like Oswego was kind of running away with this one, up 4-2 there in that second period, but a quick score from Alvernia kind of turned it around. Moving forward, the Lakers have 2 big games this weekend starting off their season with a national championship Hobart Statesman coming into the Port City. The Lakers will then travel south and head to Elmira College.
Yeah, Ryan, it's going to be an interesting weekend for the Lakers as they head into this Hobart game. The goals are great. The goals are great right now. They can't play that bad defensively, though, against a team that's returning 5 of their top 6 goal scorers as we look at right here. Hobart, the national champions, 29-2 last year, 16-2 in conference. 4 goals per game, just 1.2 goals allowed per game. Elmira, on the other hand, 13-12-1, 10-7-1 in conference, and the goals per game sitting at 3.5, goals against at 2.7. Like I said, though, Hobart, 5 of their top 6 goal scorers returning from last season, they won it all. Like, the Lakers need to be better on defense.
Yeah, this is a real veteran team there for Hobart. I mean, coming back, they bring Artem Buzovera, who's a senior captain, had assists in 2 of the 3 attorney games last year, and also was a big part in that when they beat Oswego last year, too, as well. And this is a team, they really didn't lose many other people. And for Oswego, Connor Sleeth was big last year, and Quinn Marmuth was huge last year in that game as well.
Yeah, definitely, Ryan. Let's head to the women's side, Ryan. The Oswego State women's hockey team finished their preseason with a 4-2 loss against the London Junior Devilettes on Saturday. Ryan, probably not the preseason the Lakers have hoped for, but still a ton of time to turn it around.
No, and not what they hoped for, but I mean, for London, they're a very good team. A lot of D1 players and a lot of players end up on the national team, Canadian national team. And I mean, looking at Larissa Stevenson, 3 goals in this one, 4 shots on goal, was really having her way when she was shooting it at the goal. I mean, don't take too much from this game. Oswego really was with a talented, like I mentioned, a lot of future players who are going to go play high-level hockey. Shots are really close to this one, 31-30. It wasn't that Oswego wasn't competing. So, I mean, take it as you want, but Oswego played pretty good in this one, just couldn't get it at the end.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ryan. Just not the start the Lakers wanted. It's not that they played badly here. Their opponents just scored at the right times. That was the difference in this one. I'm sure Coach Digby probably looking for goal scorers to step up later in the season. There's still a lot of time to figure things out, though. Get your coach ready as the Lakers travel down to Geneva for their first game of the season against William Smith. Oswego took both games when these two faced off last season. It's a new season for the Lakers, Ryan, as they finally look to get over the hump.
And, you know, we mentioned that preseason start, not kind of what Oswego wanted, but looking at the matchup here, I mean, goals per game, pretty similar, and goals allowed per game, really close there as well. So it should be a really close one. They get a chance to play one away on Friday and then come back in the Deb for a Saturday one. And for Oswego, Simone Bernard kind of had her way last year. She's kind of my player to look for in this game. 2 goals last year against William Smith. And really similar on the goal side, too. 71 goals last year for Oswego and 62 goals for William Smith. So pretty similar game. We'll kind of see how Coach Digby, losing a lot of players from last year, will kind of, you know, who's going to take over in this one.
Yeah, man, I said get your coats ready. The cooler. It's cold down there in Geneva. I've been there. It's not a fun time, but lots of positives heading into this home and home against William Smith. The top one being Oswego won 3 of the last 4 against William Smith. But that's all for this week in the Wheelhouse Wire. When we come back, Ryan and myself will battle it out on this week's edition of Laker Showdown. This is Laker Connections on WTOP 10.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
La 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 la. Free. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
Welcome back to Laker Connections. I'm your moderator, Matt Shermita, and it's now time for everyone's favorite segment, Laker Showdown. For those of you who don't know the rules, it's pretty simple. Zach and Ryan have around 30 seconds each to answer 3 questions that I ask. Shall we get started?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. The first question. The Oswego State men's hockey team wrapped up their preseason by nipping away at Alvernia in a 7-6 victory. With their season starting this Friday against Hobart College, are you guys more or less confident in the team's success this year? Zach, you and I are both wearing Jordans. I know it's really classy, but
yeah.
We're going to go with you to start.
There you go. Look at my J's. There you go. I'm less confident, though, in this Oswego men's hockey team. You can't be letting up that many goals. It's just not all on the defense, and it's not all on the netminder, Cal Shell. But this team lost 2 of their leaders and heavily experienced defensemen from last year in Bunka and Robillard. They're basically irreplaceable as leaders. You really can't replace them right now. I know Quinn Warmuth has done a solid job. Ryan Dickinson stepping up as the new captains, but you cannot replace those guys on defense.
I feel pretty successful about this Oswego team. I mean, lots of scoring over the weekend. I mean, 9 goals in the first one, and then I'm looking at guys like Noah Bull. We're looking kind of where scoring's going to come from. Tommy Cahill obviously left the team last year, not here this year. You're kind of looking at that scoring was going to come from. They bring in a guy like Brock Kulicki, who scored a couple goals in this exhibition game. I mean, they've looked pretty good. I mean, looking at the goaltending too as well. Cal Shell's looked pretty stellar so far as we all heard my rant in that first one, but I think they're looking great so far. And I mean, the defense isn't there, but looking great so far this season.
I don't know, man. I think the defense obviously just took a step back from last year, and you saw that in the other day's game.
But they kind of want to keep the high scoring offense going. So
That's
I mean,
fair.
they've been
That's
scoring
fair.
pretty well so far, I would say.
I don't know. I mean, going back to what you said 2 weeks ago, this is our year. Let's go with Ryan for this one.
This is our year. Coach
All right.
Gosick.
Fair enough.
All right, last season, the men's basketball team won the SUNYAC championships and went to the quarterfinals of the D3 NCAA tournament. In the most recent ranking poll, the Lakers were ranked 6th in the nation for Division III schools. Do you guys think that this ranking of 6 is too high or too low for the Lakers? Ryan, take it away.
I kind of like where they are so far this season. I mean, in that 6th spot right now, I like the ranking. The SUNYAC, I mean, in terms of what they look at, not that biggest conference, not the best conference, not too much competition. Oswego team really made it far last year, made it to the Elite Eight, should have made it to the Final Four. We're not going to get into that. But they didn't lose too many players on the roster. Devin Green obviously left, and I mean, they lose shooters like Joey Roback. They bring in a couple guys who are, Division I transfers. Elijah comes in a D1 transfer there from St. Francis, Brooklyn. And, they bring Kenny Laszlo, too, a point guard who's going to be really good in the roster. But we also don't know. They haven't played a game yet. We're not sure who's going to fill in each role. But I kind of like the rankings so far, and I like them keeping us a little underrated. That's what we like, We want them to sleep on, little upstate New York team. We want them to not be with us at the start.
Except, Ryan, they kept us underrated last year, and then they went and beat the top team in the nation, the team with the longest home winning streak in Division III, knocked that off. I mean, this team lost one player. Yeah, Devin Green's very big and definitely helped this team the last couple of years, but they're bringing in guys left and right, transfers, recruits, nonstop. They're getting the job done when it comes to the recruiting process. They need to be at least number 4. Two of the teams ahead of them, John Carroll, they beat them last year in Oswego in the tournament. They're at 3 right now. 3 spots ahead of Oswego. Mount Union, who is at 5, lost a ton of seniors from last year. I know they were in the championship game, but Oswego beat the #1 team in the country. Keep underestimating them.
I mean, I'm a big Oswego fan as you, but I mean, we don't know how they're going to fit into the rotation. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just saying we don't know who's going to fit in. You lose a starting shooting guard, a guy who's been around for a long time. You don't really know how they're going to fit in. So, I mean, I'm not hating on Oswego. I'm just saying I kind of like the ranking right now.
I don't know.
I mean, dude, you shot yourself in the foot when you said that they were underrated. It clearly shows that the ranking is too low. I'm going with Zach. Come on now.
Let's go Lakers.
All right.
Okay, whatever you say. Sure.
Well, it comes down to a 1-1 game again. Here we go with the last question. Halloween is just 5 days away, and in order to get in the spirit, I'd like to reminisce a little bit here. Gentlemen, what is the weirdest costume that you guys have ever worn, and why do you think that yours is weirder than the other guys? Zach, go ahead.
Oh, boy. All right.
So
I'm going to take a trip back to 6th grade. I was a huge Big Bang Theory fan. I dressed up as Sheldon Cooper for Halloween one year. The mask, probably very strange looking.
Mask?
It was a little creepy looking. I think that's definitely weird enough. Like, it was, I kind of regret it. I don't know. It was great at the time. I don't know why I was Sheldon Cooper. I loved him so much. He was one of my favorite actors and one of my favorite TV characters. But yeah, Sheldon Cooper wins for me.
Huh. Okay. I'm not going to go too far back. We're going to go around 12 months ago. I'm a pretty clean-shaven guy, but I was Jesus. With Jesus, I had the long beard. I had the long hair. Had the robe going on, and people didn't recognize me. It's kind of out of left field for me. I mean, I haven't done too many weird costumes, but Jesus kind of took the way in that one. Not really kind of my style, but I rocked it really well. Of course I did,
So my argument here is Jesus, a lot of people have been Jesus. Who do you ever know that's been Sheldon Cooper?
I've seen a Big Bang Theory Sheldon Cooper.
When?
We're just making up stuff here? I've seen it before.
Except Jesus is
just a big show 10 years ago.
That's a way more popular costume. Weirder costume. Sheldon Cooper, who maybe like 3 people. I don't know. There's a lot of people that are Jesus for Halloween. You get the robe, the beard, the whole thing. It's very easy to be Jesus. Sheldon Cooper, you got to have a whole outfit and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know. I think Jesus is kind of out of left field. For me, I rocked it really well. A little odd there, but I mean that's kind of my go-to costume there.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know how I can go against Jesus, to be honest. But
would you assume I'd have a Jesus costume?
No,
exactly.
I'm shocked, but this guy,
Sheldon Cooper. He liked the TV show 10 years ago. Let's give him the win. Sure. Okay.
Sure. No, weirder is the question, though.
I think in hindsight.
Okay. You're a fan of the show. How is Sheldon Cooper weird?
You're calling Jesus weird?
No, I'm saying Sheldon Cooper
is very weird, by the way.
I don't know, man.
A strange guy on television.
I don't know, man.
Strange guy. Weird.
I think in hindsight, Ryan, in hindsight.
I don't like where you're going here, Matt. I don't like where you're going here. I don't like it.
In hindsight, Sheldon Cooper's got to be the weirdest costume.
You're
wrong. I mean, it's so hard going against Jesus. I'm going with Zach.
If we had put a picture up there, you would have figured out it was a weird costume. But
it is what it is. But that'll do it for this episode of Laker Connections from Ryan Joyce, Matt Sharamita. I'm Zach Malamud. Happy Halloween, everyone, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Let's go.